Do you want to win more games in ranked so that way you can hit Unreal fast this season? Because you only have 1 month to hit Unreal. Well, in this video, I'm going to be showing you the best weapons that you should be carrying that will help you rank up, and also the worst weapons that you shouldn't be carrying so that way you don't die in your games. After I'm done ranking all the weapons, I'm going to be showing you a game strategy that's going to help you win more games. And make sure you stay all the way to the very end because I have extra tips for you to help you rank up super fast. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. I'm Preacher Wayne. I hit Unreal every single season in the Battle Royale and in the Reload. Let's get right into it. First, we're going to talk about the C tier weapons that you should avoid unless you're really desperate and have no guns. The first one is actually a shotgun. It's the ACP Array Blaster. The reason why you shouldn't be carrying this shotgun is because it's weak. It has a low range. You're going to be hitting for like threes, and it has inconsistent damage. And you should really only be picking this up off spawn if you have nothing else. Another C tier weapon that you should not be carrying is actually the Marksman Blaster Rifle, and the reason why it's weak is because it requires perfect aim. It has an awkward fire rate that's pretty slow, so if you're box fighting someone, you're gonna be losing. You should really only be picking this up if you're trying to snipe somebody because it hits pretty hard, but because of the bullet drop, it's really not that good. It's better to pick up in team modes like trios or squads, but in solos you really shouldn't be carrying it. Now we're gonna move up to the B tier weapons that really depend on the situation that you're in. The first weapon we're going to talk about is the CR2 Blaster. It has a super fast fire rate, but overheats really quickly, and you can miss a lot of shots if you're not accurate. The best use for it is if you're following up after pumping someone really hard. The second weapon we're going to talk about in the B tier list is the DC-15 Blaster Rifle. This one is best at range, but has a slowish fire rate, so it's not really good if you're fighting up close. It's best used if you have a passive playstyle or you're supporting your teammate while they're fighting. Now we're going to talk about the A tier weapons. These are the weapons that you really want to try to carry. The first one is the DL44 Blaster Pistol. Why it's so good is because it has a high burst damage in close quarters. Think of it like a pump-like pistol. It's best used if you're solo box fighting someone or making fast peeks. Another A tier weapon that you should probably try to carry is the F11D Blaster Rifle. The reason why it's so good this season is because it's more accurate than the E11, but with a similar magazine. It's best used in mid-range fights. The next A tier weapon that I want you to carry that's pretty good is the DLT-19 Heavy Blaster. Why it's so good is because it has a higher fire rate and a decent beam potential. It's best used when holding players, third party pressure, and endgame beams. The S tier weapons that you need to be carrying is the E11 Blaster. Why it's the best is because it has no reload, solid accuracy, and insane spam potential in close to mid range. It's best used if you're W keying, box fighting, or just spraying builds. Now that we rated all of the weapons that you should be carrying from worst to best, let's talk about a game strategy so that way you can win more games. The first thing we're going to talk about is having a smart landing. You need to land at quieter spots that are small POIs that have rotation. You need to look for vehicles, geysers, and launch pads. This will help you live off spawn and to rotate in the mid game. The second thing you need to look for is movement and rotations. You need to make sure you have movement in this game. The most common thing to have in ranked is a vehicle. Unless you're specifically looking for lightsabers for your team, you really need to be driving around vehicles with your team so that way you can get around the map. The third thing I want to talk to you about is the infinite ammo. To avoid overheating, you need to try to tap fire your gun or use it in bursts so that way it doesn't overheat. That way you can keep pressuring your opponent. Now let's talk about what to do in the late game. If your late game is stacked for some reason, you need to stay mid ground or low ground unless you have force abilities or some type of mobility like shockwaves to take height. Try to beam people from safety like inside your box, and also use lightsabers to block, but be careful because they won't block you from a DC 15. Now let's talk about extra tips that I have for you. You need to enable visual sound effects if you don't already. Footsteps and blaster audio are key in chaotic fights. That way you can keep track of where your enemies are. You need to carry something that can heal you super fast, like the chug jug or some floppers. They brought back EMPs so you can fish really fast with those. Instant heals matter more than minis in this meta. Also, the third extra tip I have for you is to make sure you keep an escape route, so that way you can escape and revive your teammates if they start going down. Don't forget that you can buy them back if you have the gold, so make sure you're farming gold. Don't overcommit to a fight without knowing that third parties won't ruin it. So make sure you're blocking your angles from the side as well. If you appreciate all the advice and tips on the weapons and the game strategy, make sure you subscribe to see more videos and content like this, and make sure you use creator code MrWayneFN in the Fortnite item shop to support me. Love you guys. See you in the next one.